says, Prof, good shot. Off he goes. He goes to his friends, he goes to his family, he goes to anyone he knows and says, guys, I've got this challenge with the professor. Please help me come up with a difficult question. One of his friends says to him, why don't you get a butterfly? And that butterfly, you hold it in your hand when you get to the professor. Hold it in your hand. Don't squeeze it. Don't squash it. Just make sure that it's still alive in your hand. And then ask the professor if the butterfly is alive or the butterfly is dead. And if he says the butterfly is dead, let go of it and let it fly. If he says the butterfly is alive, squash it and say the butterfly, it's dead. The young man gets excited, he goes to the prof. Hey prof, here's the issue. Here's the question. I got the best question for you. I'm sure you won't be able to answer this one. The prof says to him, son, go ahead. The young man says, I have a butterfly in my hand. And I need you to tell me if this butterfly is alive or it's dead. The prof says to the young man, son, that's easy. If you squeeze it, it dies. If you let go of it, it lives. And the young man was disappointed. But what's the lesson behind it? Now it's the prof was saying, the destiny of that butterfly depends on you. You have a choice to make. If you choose to squeeze it, if you choose to squash it, definitely it will die. But if you choose to let go of it, it will live. Now it's on a day-to-day basis, we as people. It's either we are going to make choices that are going to squash our lives. Decisions, choices that are going to choke our lives. Decisions that are going to make us suffer. Or we are going to make decisions that are going to allow us to be the best version of ourselves, the best version that God wants us to be. Allow us to fly to heights that we never flew to before. Allow us to flourish in all that we do. So you have a choice to make. Whether you are going to squash yourself and to die, or you are going to let go of your potential. So the choice is yours. And I'm relating that story to share the following things about choices in your life. One, the first point is as follows. One's life today is a composition of the choices that one has made in the past. And I think I covered that earlier on. Meaning, you got to look at yourself and say, why am I here? And then say, oh, I'm here because I made the choice. I decided to do that. And then say, I need to change this. Where am I going with this? Change is a choice. Change is a choice. You got to get to a point where you reflect. Have personal reflection and say, I messed up. I messed up, and this is what I did to mess up things. This is a choice. This is a decision I made that has made my life to be the mess it is today. And now you got to make another choice to change your life. You've got to make another choice to change your life for the better. Until you make choices to make your life the way it is today. You made choices to that would make your life be unbearable. That would make your life have less comfort in your life. That would make life a bit hard for you. And today you are suffering because of those choices. I'm challenging you today to then start making choices that will make your life a little bit more comfortable. To start making choices that would liberate you into the person that God wants you to be, into the man that you'd be proud to be in the future, into the woman that you'd be proud to be in the future. So, go back. The choices that you made in the past, change them today and make better choices. Number 2, about choices. The choices you make today will determine the status of your future successes and your future failures. Now it's how big a fail hinges on on the choices that I make today. The kind of success that I will have tomorrow in the future hinges on the choices that I will make today. That's how important choices are. In other words, the bigger the success, the tougher the choices you've got to make. And here's the thing. The bigger the failure, the easier choices you have to make. Because it's easy choices, it's simple choices that make our lives end up in failure, that end up giving us the results of failure. So you've got to be careful of that. I've learned that people who have become successful in whatever they do, at some point they had to make difficult choices. What today I call life choices. By the way, I stole this line from Dr. Phil years ago, watching one of his shows. He talked about life choices. And life choices are those things, or are those choices that you make that have a huge impact on your life. Choices that you alone are going to be responsible for. You can't blame anyone for them. You can't blame anyone for them. You can't even thank anyone for them. You can only thank yourself for. You can only thank yourself for. And you can only blame yourself for. Those are life choices. At some point, we all have to make those life choices. Life choices, they don't hinge on other people. Life choices, they don't depend on what people think. Life choices, they don't depend at times even on what your partner thinks. Because we are now talking about your life. You've got to make choices that you own. Choices that you know that you can account for. Choices that you did not make because you were under duress. Choices that you made not because you were under peer pressure, but choices that you made sober. Thinking about your life, thinking about the kind of life you want, thinking about how you can overcome your challenges, your hardships, your sufferings in life. You got to make those life choices. So those choices will determine the status of your successes in the future or the status of your failures in the future. Third thing about choices is that the choices we make, they tell us what kind of people we are. Or they tell others what kind of people we are. So, simply put, it means that if I choose to lay my hand on a woman, it means I'm abusive. If I choose to steal someone's money, it means I'm a thief. So, the choice I make becomes a living testimony of who I am. People will not just call you a thief. There are choices that you have to make. People will not just call you a lazy person. There are choices that you made. You chose not to work. And now people call you lazy. And now you've also concluded the same about yourself. Uguti, I'm a lazy person. Why? You made choices that say you are lazy. So, in other words, I have to be careful what I